What's up, everyone? It's Trace Face. Look at me. I look like I belong in the hospital. Yeah. I even slept in the sweater I wore yesterday. Yeah. I've been an absolute mess. I was feeling really strong yesterday morning. I was feeling really strong, and I knew I was doing the right thing. I was blasting my Judas Priest on the way to the courthouse, and I knew I had to just get this done, you know. But what I didn't know is that after having not seen him for 6 months, that I was gonna just have this flood of emotions set in the minute I saw him. It was overwhelming, and not to mention that I didn't know, you know, I've never been married and divorced before, so I didn't know that we were going to be sitting in a courtroom with all these other couples that are also getting a divorce, that you have to sit and listen to all of their issues and problems and why they're getting a divorce. And then the most ironic part about it was we were one of the first people to go in the room and get the paperwork done. And we were literally the last couple sitting in that room. And I think that yesterday, was one of the saddest days I'll ever remember in my life. I'm gonna try to get through this video. Sad because I was sad for him, I was sad for me, and I was sad for all these people. I mean, all these people getting a divorce. What is wrong with this world we live in? What is wrong with this world? You know, and I'm such an empathetic person that you could just feel that room yesterday. All these emotions, these vibrations in the room. You know, you got the security officer in the corner. Her favorite part of the court session was being able to treat people like animals. If I have to tell you people one more time to shut your cell phone off. I mean, she's like yelling at these people like this. Are you serious? This narcissism, it's just gone too far. It's gone too far. You know, we have a soul issue right now on our planet. A really, really bad one. We have a morality issue, which is affecting our souls. The reason there's so many narcissists out there in this world right now is because, you know, I told you guys, the devil is a trickster, and he tricks people, and all these people are falling for it. You know, when I met my narcissist, now I could say my ex-husband. When I met him, he told me that the internet got him into a lot of trouble. Well, here we are, you know, 8 years later. He's doing the same thing. He hasn't learned. Yesterday, we told each other a lot of things. We had like 4 hours to sit in that courtroom together. And even though we should have been talking, we were. Again, the greatest trick the devil ever did was to let you think that he doesn't exist. And I saw a lot of things he said that were influenced, that had that influence still, you know, hasn't gone away on him. Trying to convince me yesterday that I'm just like him. And that I'm all about myself. But I looked him in the eye. And I said, no, I'm nothing like you. Nothing at all. Did he mean any of the things he said yesterday? That, you know, I'm the love of his life and he didn't want this and he wrestled with making the phone call. I mean, I told him, I said, no one gets married for this. No one. No one wants a divorce. But, you know, what we really all wanted, you guys, and I know you did, is we wanted that phone call that we never got. The one that went something like this in our head. Okay. I surrender. You're right. You're right about everything you said. I am sick. I need to get myself the help. I told you that I should have gotten the first or second or third time you left me. I didn't stick with any program. I didn't stick with my men's group that I was going to. I didn't stick with church. I didn't stick with any personal counseling. I didn't go to that place I said I was going to go and get myself diagnosed. I didn't do that work. I didn't. You're right. The reason I keep running is I'm running from myself. I haven't fixed myself. I haven't fixed my pains from my childhood. You're right. I don't want to keep acting like this. I don't want to live my life, the rest of my life like this. I don't want to be a narcissist. I love you. And I want to fix this. And I don't want to lose you. And he told me that that's the phone call he wrestled with making twice a day for the last year. Well, if that is true, because again, we don't ever know what truth is with a narcissist, and he in fact said that to me too yesterday. It was probably the most honest statement he's ever made. But if he did in fact wrestle with that phone call, he chose, and this is what they will choose. He chose fear, and he chose his pride. And that's what he always chose over me. It's much greater to fail for the narcissist than it is to take a chance and see if you'll succeed, especially when it comes to a relationship. That is one of the scariest things ever for a narcissist, is being alone, having to deal with what's going on inside. He told me yesterday, if he ever has that breakdown, and he said, if I ever, in regards to the truth, he said, if I ever figure that out, what the truth is, and I have a breakdown from here, he said, you'd be the first I'd call. You'd be the first to know. Because I see you. I've always seen you. I see the boy inside of you. I always have. That is still hurting. And I'm sorry. And I always was sorry. I'm sorry for what happened to you as a kid. I know that the rest of you were sorry too, because most of these people were abused, or they were spoiled so bad that that's abuse too, you know? Or it could have been a little bit of both, but I'm sorry that you didn't see normal, that you saw me as a complicated and flawed and messed up emotional person. Because I'm not. You're never going to convince me that I am you. You brought out the worst in me. Unfortunately, you did. You brought out all these negative emotions for me. I mean, all I ever did probably this last few years when I was around him is cry. That's all I did. And yesterday, there I was. Couldn't stop crying. That's not normal nor healthy. I don't think I've ever cried so much in my life the way I've cried. The way that, you know, he made me cry. It's this sadness from your soul. It's this sickness that they have infected you with in your life. That's the danger of this illness, this sickness that they have. It affects people very badly. I don't know what needs to be done in this world, but something's got to be done. Something needs to happen. You know, and he tried to also convince me yesterday that he said, I've watched every one of your videos, and the interesting part is I have not told my friends or family about my channel. It's none of their business. And this is my channel, you know. I feel like I can actually be myself, not thinking about my friends or family watching this. But I had already had a Gmail account set up that connected to YouTube. And I wanted to make this channel for years now. For years. I felt like I didn't have a voice at all. I felt like I lost my voice. I lost my ability to speak. Because he always spoke for me. He always told me what it was I should be feeling. What it is I am. What it is that is wrong in the relationship. And he was still trying to do that yesterday. Tell me that maybe if I had just given him more time, or I had communicated with him better, because the way I communicated with just walking away from the abuse and saying I'm not going to tolerate it was, you know, he needs to be lifted up, and I didn't lift him up. No, I know what happened. I know what happened. Okay. And the narcissists are going to convince themselves that it had to be something you were doing to make them act that way. That's how they can't take the responsibility for any of it. So, he told me that he's watched every one of my videos, and he said, you know the only people you're going to get with your anti-narcissism campaign. He says you're just going to get other narcissists watching your channel because we all want to hear about ourselves. I said, well, that's fine. Let them all come to my channel. I'm not doing it for you narcissists, okay? Yeah, you guys are probably learning something about yourselves. Good, you need to. You need to understand that we're getting it. We see. I did this channel for me, and I did this channel for the rest of us out there that are hurting and are going through this and need support and need this information. Because as I said, it is very serious. People have lost God. People don't have a fear of God any longer in this world. It's throughout the whole world we're seeing it. And it's really scary. I did the right thing yesterday. As hard as I think yesterday was probably the hardest day I've ever had of my life. I didn't want to do it. But I gave him the supply he was looking for. He'll be okay now that he knows how I still feel, you know? He left there content, seeing me like this. As much as it annoys him that I would cry. Deep down somewhere in that sadistic way he thinks. It made him feel good. At least I still affect her. We asked each other about who we're both seeing right now, you know. And it's like we wanted to know, but we didn't want to know. He told me he's not happy. She's young. Of course, they always go for the young ones because they don't know much. They're stupid, you know. Said because of the age gap that there's no hanging in on a Saturday. And you know, you look at their. I found myself looking at his face. That was the face, you know, that I married. That my hands used to touch. And you think about this, and you thinking about them, and how it's somebody else now, you know. And it hurts. It hurts so much. But, do I believe that he probably got in his car and told her, God, it could, you know, he tells me that, you know, he's not happy, but he probably got right in his car and called her and said, my God, so happy that's over. She's such a nut. Yeah. The two-faced thing, you know, they don't even know from 1 minute to the next how they feel. They don't even have a clue what's going on with them or how they feel. Everything, you can't believe a word that comes out of their mouth. You can't. You can't trust anything that they're saying to you. They've lost all credibility from all the lies. So I wanted to get this out. I know that a lot of you were thinking about me yesterday and asking how I was doing. Well, this is my reality this morning. I haven't slept in probably a good week. I mean, I really haven't slept. I haven't been taking care of myself. I feel like I yesterday, you know, I know needed to happen, but I didn't know how yesterday was going to go. I didn't know. It was very awkward and strange. Here I was back again, sitting in a pew with who I thought was my best friend. You know, I treated him like my best friend. I did. And I was his best friend. But narcissists don't value friends, relationships. It's just always about, at the end of the day, what the person is doing for them. It's never about what they could do for you, what you needed. Now he's going to have to worry about her needs at 24. He's going to worry about maintaining that. And the other interesting thing I'll share is that he told me I lost my train of thought. He told me that he doesn't like being alone. Yeah. Yeah. You don't like being alone. That's the problem. Always gonna be. It is the design for unhealthy relationship when you haven't fixed what's going on with yourself and you believe that someone else is going to fix you. It is the design for failure. People are walking around this planet running. They're running from themselves on a daily, consistent basis, running from themselves, hating themselves, not fixing what's going on within them, thinking these external things like porn and strip clubs and young women and drugs and alcohol and whatever. The quick flesh fixes is going to fix them. It's going to fix it. This one next hit is going to fix it. No. So that's the sad story. That's the sad story that I have to tell. And I'll still continue to pray for the healing of all these narcissists. I will pray for you for your healing. I will. But we're all not going to tolerate your abuse. And that's what I wanted to say today. I am Trace Face. It's time we all face the truth together.